It's long August. This is the Shadowmancer build right now, level 60 Necromancer. Here's the armor. We're basically trying to build up shadow damage and stay alive. Three ranks in Blight. It's a really big nuke. The standstill damage is part of our ramp up with Corpse Explosion. Magic Bubble, I know it's a little noobish, but this has saved my ass plenty of times. Kind of sucks when random ads pop it before a big fight, but I still like it. Blood Mist is actually the opener on this build rather than the sort of get out of jail free card or release valve. And I'll show you how that works here in a bit. The scythe is pretty huge. It's just a big ol' stats monster. 63 all stats, 147 in. The 27% core skill damage, again that's going to our Blight. And I had a better roll on my previous scythe on the 100% increased damage for 6 seconds after Shadow Blight. It was at 140 I think, so looking for a better one. But I had imprinted that one, so I couldn't peel it off the old scythe. This is sort of our get out of jail free card for bosses and elites. Big barrier. This is resource regeneration. The max life roll is huge. Vulnerable damage is huge. One of my favorite stats is damage to affected by shadow damage over time enemies. It's sort of like a hidden stat almost. And then the Blood Mist leaves a trail. So that is why this is our opener, because the Blood Mist opener triggers, I don't know how many forms of damage, but it ramps this up to 100% very quickly. And so for 6 seconds after that ramp up, we're dealing just a metric fuck ton of damage. Book of the Dead, pretty self-explanatory. Shadow damage, of course. Vulnerable enemies off the corpse tendril. And then the max health. Ability tree. We're running Reap for the corpse generation. And Blight is our nuke. Slows, so the enemies we hit with it get slowed. We get the damage to crowd controlled enemies, and we also affect them with Shadow Blight. And then we also deal 15% increased damage to them. Of course, imperfectly balanced, critical. Hued Flesh, corpse generation's a big part of this build too. You'll see it here on Blood Mist, even though it's only rank 1. This skill partnered with what we're doing with corpse generation and corpse explosion, plus the Shadow Blight, plus all the other shit, is what's really going to dish out a lot of damage and help us ramp up during fights. This is, apart from the Blood Mist cheese and the Blight nuke, this is the main source of our damage and also resource regeneration. Of course, with the darkness skill on it. Grim Harvest, it's more resource regeneration, of course fueled by death. Must have. Completely skip all this bullshit because it's worthless. I know there is a thing where you can decrepify an Iron Maiden one target, but I feel like having 2 curses just, I mean, this is pretty limited down here. So you're really sort of putting yourself in a box by running 2 curses at the same time. Corpse Tendrils, this is big part of our CC, makes him vulnerable. Get that vulnerable damage bonus off of our Book of the Dead sacrifices. Necrotic Carapace. This is more just, you know, try and stay alive. Over on the Shadow skill masteries, we're only putting 1 point here just so that we can get around. 1 point here, so we do have the chance for stun, but we're not like investing heavy in it. Maybe more points put into this at a later time to increase the stun duration, but for now the increased shadow damage is more valuable. Standalone damage reduction, again, we're doing this for survivability. Memento Mori, huge increase to our sacrifice bonuses. The ultimate we're running is Bone, but we're only doing it for the modifier because it gives us that 15% damage reduction. Of course, Shadow Mastery. My Paragon is very slow right now. I am level 60, but I haven't done a lot of side quests and shit, so the board is, yeah. But I did rotate this so that I could start moving up towards this rare node for the shadow damage over time and shadow damage bonus, and this node as well. And then once I work myself over here, we'll come up to the Glyph Socket. Glyph Socket here, bonus damage. Yeah, build. See if my computer will be alright running a little nightmare. Try and get all the heads together. See it. Really strong. Just walk past all that and it just dies. See when they walk into it. It's not instant damage, but here's didn't dodge any of that. Anyway, that's the build. I'm gonna end this video before my computer crashes.